Attention all business owners. Are you tired of managing your finances and taxes on your own? Let the experts at 1-800-TAX-MASTERS help. Our team of experienced professionals offers a range of services to help you keep your finances in order, from personal and business tax returns to monthly accounting, quarterly and annual tax planning, and virtual controller and CFO services. With our virtual services, you can get the support you need without ever having to leave your office. Don't let taxes and finances stress you out any longer. Visit www.1800taxmasters.com today and let us handle the numbers so you can focus on growing your business. Everyone has a story, but few have the power to change lives. Introducing The Plush Life, From Prison to Peace, by Anthony J. Gonzalez with Pepper Chambers. A journey of redemption and transformation. Follow Anthony's raw and honest story as he finds his new purpose in life, turning his darkest moments into a guiding light for others. This inspiring story will take you through Anthony's journey, showing you that it's never too late to change your path and embrace your true potential. Don't miss the life-changing tale of redemption and the power of the human spirit. Get your copy today of The Plush Life, From Prison to Peace, on Amazon and iBook, and witness the incredible power of transformation. And we are live. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wize. I was supposed to have a special guest on. They canceled on me. It's all good. They were under the weather, so hopefully they feel much better and we can reschedule them for another day. But I didn't know what I was gonna do, so I was gonna not do anything. But then it hit me. My boy Cole had suggested that, well, for those that don't know, I actually wrote my first blog last week and posted it. And so he says, man, that's an episode idea. That's definitely an episode idea. And especially for when you don't have a guest or whatever, Mindset Mondays. So I've decided today's episode is on a couple of tips on how to start a podcast. So hopefully anybody out there who's looking to start a podcast, you get to enjoy what we do. All right. So first off, let's start off with tip number 1. Identifying your niche and your audience. Before you start your podcast, you need to know who and what is your audience, what niche are you going to serve. You do the research and find out what topics are popular in your niche and what is your target audience. This is going to help you create content that resonates with your listeners and build a loyal following. I know when I first started, I didn't know what my niche was. It took some time for me to really figure out where I wanted to get my niche. So that's kind of why I started doing what I'm doing now, wanting to help people so they can avoid the pitfalls that I went through as a independent podcaster that's just starting out. So yeah, definitely identify what niche you want to do. What if it's going to be entertainment, it's going to be true crime, or is it going to be interviewing? Whatever it is that you're passionate about and you feel comfortable or you feel that you're an expert in, then definitely that should be the lane that you're in. So tip number 1, again, is identify your niche and your audience, and figure out what is it that you want to do. Like I said, when I first started out, I didn't know what my niche was. It took me some time. It took me probably like a year or so to really focus and notice that, because at first I had all types of people on the show. I had celebrities, coaches, and when I finally decided that I wanted to focus on coaching and having entrepreneurs on and having business leaders on, so that kind of set me to where I wanted to go as far as what my niche and what my audience wanted to be. All right, so yeah, tip number 1, identify your niche and audience. Number 2, plan your content and format. Once you know what your niche and your audience is, it's time to plan your content and your format. Will you have guests? Will you have a co-host? Will you do solo episodes? Will you have a specific theme or focus for each episode? These are all important considerations that will help you create engaging and valuable content for your listeners. So yeah, like I know when I first started out, it was Poppy. What's going on, Ben? How you doing, brother? Poppy was always a freaking guest, but I first started off as a solo episode, just me coming out ranting and talking about whatever was on my mind at that moment. And those were cool. They were fun episodes. But I found out I really enjoyed interviewing and speaking with people. So I kind of shifted towards interview, my podcast being more of an interview show, even though right now it's a solo episode because again, my guest canceled on me. So I had been wanting to do Mindset Mondays. So this is something kind of like that. But this is just this is just me giving tips on how to start a podcast. So again, number 2 was plan your content and format. So again, once you know what your audience is, once you decide if you're gonna have a co-host or not have a co-host, or if you're gonna go at it alone, and find out what content is that. So there's all types of great content. Um, the Steam Snobs, they're more into Hollywood things, pop culture, movies, stuff like that. Great guys. I love their show. They got great content. Then you go to my man Phil Better, and his podcast is towards teaching people how to start their own podcast. Phil's goal is to help 100 100 million podcasters, 1 million podcasters. Well, his goal is to launch 1 million podcast, help launch 1 million podcasts, which is an amazing goal. But if anyone's going to do it, it's definitely going to be Phil Better. But again, that's a different niche. You got me and Poppy J when we do our show, which is kind of entertainment and current events and stuff like that. Then of course, Stuck in My Mind podcast, which is my interview based show where I bring on entrepreneurs and coaches and talk to them. And so I also do Mentality, which is me and my man Cole Johnson, and it's just me and him talking about current events and things pertaining to men. That's why it's called Mentality. Yeah, so definitely tip number 2, decide again if you're gonna have a host, a co-host, or not. All right, so tip number 3, it's a biggie but not a biggie. Invest in good equipment. There's some equipment out there that you don't necessarily have to go out and spend top of the line money on equipment. There's inexpensive equipment. I won't say cheap. I don't like saying cheap because then it makes it sound like it's cheap quality. But an inexpensive mic that does great work. There's different tools. Me personally, I invested in myself. I got me a quality mic. I got me the Rodecaster Pro, but that's because I felt this is something I wanted to do. This is something I felt I'm passionate about. I love doing. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna invest in quality mics. So there's headphones and microphones that you could purchase that you can start off with. Definitely. But eventually, if you're really serious about it, eventually invest in good equipment. I tell everyone you can start off with inexpensive equipment, but if you truly want your sound to come out as best, or your video, whatever it is, you definitely have to invest. And right now, a lot of the cameras, your phones are some of the best equipment you can use right now because they have such great cameras. If you get yourself a mic, a lapel mic that you can add to your phone or whatever, there's different ways you can definitely look at different equipment you can use, and that won't break the bank. Basically, you definitely got to have a good internet connection. There's some free software, like especially if you're just doing audio. Audacity is a great program to use. It's free of charge. It's simple to use. Well, so there's some people who don't find, but YouTube is my best friend. if I didn't know how to use any equipment or any software, I definitely go YouTube it and find out what is it that I need to learn to make sure that I master whatever these programs are. So there's plenty of software out there. I use there's some paid features also that you can use. I'm doing good. I don't know. Is it Obaimi or Corrado? One of the two, who's always a Facebook user. Big shout out to both of y'all. I love y'all both. Y'all definitely support. And what's going on, Snowman? How you doing? So yeah, that was tip number 3. Invest in good equipment. All right, number 4. Edit your podcast carefully. Editing is an essential part of producing a high quality podcast. Using editing equipment to cut out awkward pauses, background noises, or mistakes. Be sure to listen to your podcast carefully and make necessary adjustments to audio quality, volume, or pacing. I'm telling you, when I first started, you could definitely see, you could tell the difference from when I first started to where I am now. You could hear the quality of my mic, the quality of my sound, and then when I transcended to video, you can see where I started out with a webcam to now where I'm using my DSLR camera. It's a progression. But these are there's softwares out there that you can definitely use. There's free programming again, like Audacity, that can help you with your editing. There's some video programming editing programs that you can definitely use that are free. I personally have a paid one that I use. That's me, because there's certain things I like to do. I like to do transitions, make just it's cool for me to use the features that are available when you use the paid feature of a certain editing program. So that's definitely I'm definitely keep big on that on listen, Audacity is a free program. It does work. I still use it to this day. I do have some programs that I use that are paid, but I still use I mainly use Audacity for my audio side. For my video side, I use DaVinci Resolve. That's just a program I enjoy using. I find it easy to use. I find it easy to use. So definitely if you want to go the paid route, DaVinci Resolve is definitely some way you can go. Yes, no man. Editing is definitely a big part of it. It's amazing how some people just come out and they don't care about the quality of their sound or whatever, or their video. Me, once I started editing audio, I was very picky on, "Oh, I gotta take this breath out, take this." It's just the producer in me came out. The more I started editing and practicing my video skills and my audio skills. So, but yes, editing is definitely a huge part of it. Tip number 5: promoting your podcast. Once you've recorded and edited your podcast, it's time to promote. Use social media, email marketing, other channels to spread your word about your podcast. Be sure to engage with listeners and respond to any feedbacks or questions. One of the big things I love one of the things I love about podcasting is networking. And that's big. In order for you to promote your podcast, you have to network. You have to go appear on other shows. You have to go appear or make as many appearances as you can on other shows, because that's how you're going to grow your audience. Because once you go on another show, you're able to reach another audience that you probably wouldn't have reached before. So yes, definitely go appear on other shows. um Social media is big. TikTok is big. Creating shorts, reels, posting message, whatever, doing all. Use the tools that are available. Don't just go on Instagram and just stroll and look. No, use the tools. Use it. Use Instagram to promote your podcast. Use TikTok to promote your clips. Do clips. Now, I use StreamYard, right, to stream my show, and they have a great new feature where they actually let you trim the video and post it on shorts and reels. That's amazing. That saves me on time. The only thing I don't like, the only thing that only problem with that is you're not able to put words and all that. So what I do is, yes, I use the StreamYard to trim it and edit and use the clip that I want. And then another great tool that I use is Canva. And I make my clips. I put whatever wordings, whatever titles I want to put in, any captions, whatever it is. I use Canva. And so there's so many different tools you can use out there that definitely help you promote your podcast. Like I said, use social media as a tool. Don't just stand there and scroll and like. And listen, if you're gonna be on social media, use it the correct way. Use it to help promote your podcast. Definitely use it to help promote your podcast. Interact with your listeners. They have any questions, you can always answer. Whatever. It's definitely important for you to really sit down and be able to and be able to interact with people who are listening to your show. Number 6, consistency. Consistency is key when it comes to building a loyal audience for your podcast. Set a regular schedule for your episodes, stick to it. Your listeners will come to expect new episodes on a regular basis, so be sure to deliver. Right now, I'm doing a show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. There's an occasion where I might miss a show because someone canceled or something happened. Life happens. But for the most part, I've been consistent with my shows. So I've decided that, and it was one point where I was probably recording every day. But now I've set it to where I'm interviewing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. And whichever I feel is the best show for that week is the show that I'm going to use the following week on my audio podcast. So, and then I still have the other ones to always use as audio podcasts as well. But whichever one I feel is the best episode that week is going to make the audio podcast the following week. But yeah, consistency. I remember when I first started, I did my first episode and I didn't release another show for like another month or so, a month and a half. And then I released another episode and took me another month to release another episode. And my audience was growing, but slowly. And so when I started being more consistent, like setting up a date, like, all right, Mondays is going to be the day I release my episodes. So I had to make sure every Monday that I was being consistent and releasing my episode, making sure that it was out there for the people out there so they can receive it. Because once I started being more consistent, the numbers started growing. So once they start growing, they're consuming the content. They're consuming it. So they want you to be on point. If you say you're gonna release on Mondays, release on Mondays. If you feel you're gonna release 2 episodes a week, you can do Monday, Thursday. Make sure you stick to Monday, Thursday. Consistency. That's big. It's huge. You really do need to be consistent with what you do. All right. So for people out there who do interview shows, there are men and would you start a podcast that deals with drama to draw the people in for a year, then change up due to maturity and growth? It would depend on you. It depends on you. It's like when my first couple of episodes was me ranting and raving about politics and whatever was going on in the world and the news. And I enjoyed doing the podcast, but I just wasn't enjoying the content. So I switched my content to more of an interview based show. So I felt like I didn't want to just deal with all the negative stuff that was going on out there. I wanted to focus more on putting out positive content. So I felt like, let me have guests on that are doing some amazing things, that have a great story to share and whose content is amazing. So I definitely felt that. Yes, so my yeah, I guess you can say with maturity and growth, I did shift over more, even though it didn't take long for me to shift over from that content I started with to what I'm doing now. But yeah, it's some yeah, so it depends on the person. If they have grown, if when they first started and their podcast was about drama and nonsense, and within that year they've grown and decided that they wanted to shift the focus to more mature level, more mature content and more content that will help you grow. It happens. It happens. You evolve. My podcast has evolved numerous times. I started strictly audio to eventually go into pre-recorded video and audio to where now I am live 3 times a week. So with time, you're gonna want to test things out. You're gonna want to do different things. But again, it's as long as you're consistent with it, it's gonna grow. It's definitely gonna grow. People are gonna gravitate to you, but you have to be consistent. They have to see that he is putting in the work. He is definitely dedicated to what he's doing. So let's support that. But again, it's consistency. I tell anyone, if you're gonna do this, don't half-ass it. Go out, be consistent, make sure you continue to do your content. If you feel like you need a break, take a break. Don't take a too long of a break. Take a week or two off and then get back to grinding. But you definitely want to be consistent when you're starting your podcast. Set a date. Say like 1 day a week. You can do 1 day a week. And you don't necessarily have to do an hour show. Do a 10-15 minute show. Like I said, find your niche, find the topics, and if you don't feel like doing an hour show, do 10-15 minutes, do 20 minutes. And then as you get more comfortable with it, with time, it's gonna grow. My first episode was 5 minutes to where now I'm doing hour shows. But that's the growth. That's me finding myself along the way and learning what my strengths are, or learning what my weaknesses are. I'm still growing as a podcaster. I'm still growing as an individual. So it's great to be able to go on this journey and people can see the growth. If you like I said, if you go to my first few episodes, you can hear my quality is okay. It's all right because I purchased a Behringer's podcast studio for $160, but it was a start. If you're gonna start it, that's what you just need to start. But again, when you start, make sure you're consistent. Make sure. So again, all right. So for my people out there who do interview based shows, there's and one of the hardest things for you to do is find guests. There are plenty of platforms out there you can use to find guests. There's Facebook groups you can use, um, Podmatch, which I will put a link, an affiliate link, so everybody know. Yes, I get a little bit of money when you use my affiliate links, but it's a great platform that uses AI to connect you with guests for your podcast. You enter the keywords that you want to use that you feel like, all right, these are the kind of guests that I want to have on my show. And Podmatch lines them up. They set them up. They send you 3 matches every 5 or 6 hours or whatever it is. And I'm booked through August right now. Like for my interviews for Stuck in My Mind, I am booked through August. I just had to open up some dates in July because I was gonna take July off. But I have such a big demand that I'm just gonna take a week off of no recording and open up some dates in July because it is my calendar through August has been booked. But it's great. It's a great problem. It's a great problem to have. Is before I remember when I first started, it was hard for me to get guests on the show. So definitely websites like Podmatch, Matchmaker FM is another great platform to use that I use to find guests. Like I said, Facebook groups about finding guests for your show. Because again, that's one of the hardest things to do is find consistent guests to appear on your show. Um, what other little tips out there that anyone would have? If you ever have a questions or anything you want to know about podcasting, definitely hit me up, send me a message, DM me, whatever. I love to do this, and if I can help anyone avoid the pitfalls, I'm all for it, man. This is a great community. I've made some amazing friends. I've made some lifelong friends from podcasting. Um, and to be able to provide content that people enjoy, it's another great feeling. But thank you, everybody. Have you ever asked your audience to donate towards podcast equipment? No. Um, we do have a Patreon page. I do share Cash App. I don't If anyone wants to donate, I appreciate it. I appreciate the blessings. To me, if anyone wants to help, I am great. I greatly appreciate it. I'm not going to turn back a donation. I'm not going to turn back anyone wanting to help me because I do spend a lot of my own money into creating this content and to being able to use StreamYard and all this stuff. But I do it because I love it. And if anyone wants to donate, I'm not gonna say no. So, but I don't necessarily go out and ask for donations. If anything, I ask any of my friends who are small business owners if they want to sponsor episodes or go to local small businesses and see if they want to sponsor episodes. Like the promo I played at the beginning is a childhood friend of mine. She's an entrepreneur, smart businesswoman, and she has a tax service business. And she's like, "Hey, let me." Her way of supporting me was to sponsor my show, and my way of supporting her was actually creating the ad that I ran myself and doing the voiceover. So I've been blessed to have friends that have businesses that see the benefit of sponsoring the show, and so that's how I've been able to monetize my show in certain ways. But it's key, man. So again, let's start off with number one: identify your niche and your audience, and that is a great help. Number two: plan your content and format. Like I said, are you gonna have co-hosts? Are you gonna be solo episodes? Are you gonna have guests? That's number two. Number three: invest in good equipment. At first, you don't necessarily have to invest in good equipment. Like I said, your phone has quality video. If you get a mic for it, you'll be fine. Excuse me. All right. Number four, edit your podcast carefully. There are many programs out there. There's paid ones, there's free ones. It's up to you. It's depends on you. If you want to invest in software, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But there are some free programs out there that you can use to edit your audio and your video. Five, promoting your podcast. Again, use social media, email marketing. Something that I've just recently started doing is automation and using my using email marketing to help promote the podcast and other stuff that we have got that we have going on. So yeah, definitely promote your podcast using social media, using email lists. That's one thing. Build up an email list, networking, building up an email list, getting people's emails and being able to help promote your podcast through email. And number 6 is consistency. Make sure that you're being consistent with it. If you're gonna release an episode every Monday, make sure every Monday you release your episode. And those are my tips for the day. Anita Gonzalez. Oh, my beautiful niece. Thank you for stopping by and showing me some love. Big shout out to my niece, Anita Gonzalez, for coming by and showing her uncle some love. I appreciate it. Love you, niece. When you game, how do you balance keeping the audience engaged by answering their questions, but still help your teammates complete the game and objective like in Call of Duty without them being mad at you? I don't really game. I haven't gamed in a while, and when I did game, it was I wasn't streaming live. But are you a gamer? Because I know it's hard to interact while you're gaming, and then also, especially in Call of Duty, it's crazy with everything that's going on. But yeah, I don't stream games. I haven't played my PlayStation in a couple of years actually, so teammates completing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. If I was a game, I would probably have an answer for you, but I don't game. I I don't stream my games. Yeah, I get kicked when my teammates find out I'm streaming and doing just chatting with the audience. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't chat with the audience and more focus on the game. But not. But I get it. I understand why you stream. It's great to interact with the audience, like kind of like now, because before I was pre-recording videos, and once I got the live bug, I enjoyed it so much because going live and being able to interact with people like yourself, it's great because you get to ask questions. I get to answer them if I know the answers to them. So yeah, it's definitely I got. Let me see. I'm gonna try streaming and gaming. I haven't done it. I gotta connect my PS4 and see what's going on. But I would love to learn to see how you can do it. I have friends that actually game, and my nephew, he has a streaming YouTube channel, Mr. Gonzo. So definitely check him out. Um, but if anyone don't have any more questions, I appreciate everybody who stopped by. Um, this is it's not really my first solo episode. I've had solo episodes before, but this is one where I actually got to teach something I love talking about, which is podcasting. So again, those are my 6 top tips for anyone who wants to start a podcast. I greatly appreciate everybody coming through and showing me love. And now it is time for shout outs. Big shout outs to everybody in the comments section, man. Big shout out to Ben from the BS3 network. Big shout out to my man Snowman in the morning. Snowman from Snowman Digital Media. Multimedia now. My apologies, Snow. I think that's Obime. I'm almost positive Facebook users Obime. So what's up to my man Obime? Big shout out to GZDR Forever. I don't know who that is, but thanks for showing by. There's my boy Corrado. What's going on, Corrado? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate the love and the support you always give me, brother. Love it. When you go live, you may have set of topics to talk about, but like today in Louisville, there was a bank employee. He killed 4 workers. Um, no, rest in peace to everybody. To rest in peace to the people who lost their lives in that tragic shooting in Louisville. Yeah, I don't. It's not that I ignore it. It's just not. The news already focuses on it, and I want to focus more on, like I said, putting out more positive content. It's a shame that those people lost their lives, but I'm not. I'm not a news outlet. I don't. It, I don't focus on that. That's not my main focus. My focus is more entertaining and more bringing information as far as things that I enjoy doing. And yes, Corrado, I know you're a Mets fan. You don't need to remind me. I know you're a Mets fan. I still love you, even though you're still a Mets fan. That's fine. I've accepted who you are, Corrado. I have. But what can you do? You love your Mets. Hey, I respect that. Do I love the Mets? No. We both know I don't love the Mets. You see the number one team here in New York. You're always gonna be number 2, Corrado. Remember that. So let me finish out my shout outs. Shout out to my man Corrado. Got nothing but love for him. Big shout out to my niece, Anita Gonzalez Wills, for coming through. And that's it for today. I greatly appreciate everybody coming through. Big shout out to my Real Wize fam, Poppy J, Brandy J. Love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. Appreciate you, baby. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless you. Be safe. You know your boy Wize does it. Peace out.